What's going on, everybody? Let's talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a few other coins, and the kind of outlook for the crypto market. So first of all, we're going to start on the higher time frame Bitcoin chart. We moved up in 2017. We've got the low, January low up to December high, plotted out as the low and high here. Since then, we've been consolidating between these 2 points, and we've developed the point of control right here. Ever since the top at 20K, 6,400-ish is our point of control. And we bounced up after losing that level and made the high of 2019, which is this level right here. So if you take the high and low of 2017, we've got a mid-range right in the middle of it. If you take this 2019 high in this point of control, the mid-range is literally right in the middle of it. So I'm projecting that this level remains relevant for quite a while. And we could see this move up here, followed by some kind of price action like this before our larger move up. This is just a range idea. It's very possible that it slopes upward more. All kinds of variants could come out of this. But this was just an idea I had simply based on this range and how we've played out so far. It's even possible we could see this 2020 high be comparable to this 2018 low. So the low in 2017 was 730 essentially. Let's get the exact. It was 751 up to 31.22. So we're talking about essentially a $2,500 difference. What if the high here in 2020 falls 2,500 short of the top at 20,000, giving us about 17,500? If this were to be our 2020 high, then our mid-range would again fall exactly in the center of this level and this level. Will it happen? Probably not. That's probably not going to be our high. It's just something cool to look at, an interesting fact on the chart. As you know, from an Elliott wave perspective, we've been looking at an A, B, C, or WXY. And then we've got a couple potentials here. Obviously, we've got to move up. We've got a trending piece up. This looks like an A wave. We've got a second move down, counter to that A wave. This could be an AB base, and we've started a new impulse. Or it could simply be that this is an A, B, C. And we could then have a W, X, Y scenario where we come down for another position here. What exactly it is, it doesn't matter too much. This could be like a wave 1, and then we've got to pull back for wave 2. I don't care. If you followed me, you know I don't count all that too much. All I really need to know is that we've got a trending piece up, and we've got another trending piece up that we are still working on right now until proven otherwise. On this time frame, the weekly time frame, we would need to take out this higher low to consider this trend up broken. That's $2,400 away from here, so I don't expect to be breaking that anytime soon. If we go down to the lower time frames, we can talk about what I talked about in the last video real quick. I was looking for one of two things here. Option 1 was that our move up was going to look similar to this. And as we started moving, we were really looking a lot like this. So I adopted this as my primary. I was exceptionally bullish after this consolidation on low time frame here. Excuse me. And we did, in fact, move up out of this consolidation, but then we saw a massive rejection. That massive rejection suggests that our chart, that our play here, our move, is more comparable to this. In an ABC, A, B, C type move. So what I pulled here is actually from back here before, but it is an ABC move. Well, it's a three-wave move. It's not an ABC. But just like this, and you can see how comparable in size these are, and it takes us up to that 17,000 type target. So time-wise, I'm expecting a larger consolidation. Why would I be expecting that? Well, we broke the higher low. So we've got a local trend here that was broken when we spiked down. And pretty much every exchange I looked at broke this higher low. So that suggests on the lowest of time frames here that we'll be looking at that we have an A wave. Like so. So we should expect some chop in here for the B wave. How long could it take? It really just depends. This could play out time-wise, but it doesn't have to. So in this scenario, we'd be talking about the 18th of August, mid-August, for a larger pullback and continuation of the uptrend. That would be just fine with me. That gives us a lot of time to play some alts. Ethereum, I'm mostly expecting the same thing. We're expecting some sideways. Before I move on, let me make sure I've said everything I need to on Bitcoin. I believe so. As you can see, the uptrend here remains intact, and we would have to take out this higher low before I really think this trend upward is complete. Especially if we keep this low here intact. But honestly, we could still do something like this and be valid. I think it's less likely that we do that. I think it's more likely that we continue up from this level. I think our low is in here, but it is very possible. You see back here, the low is in here. The low was in here. We didn't come back to test these major pullbacks. Really, in any memorable pullback that I can remember during these uptrends, we don't typically retest this level. You see, this one is quite similar because we have a move up. We've got a higher low here. The wick takes out that higher low, but then we make that B wave, which again, this is the same move that I'm projecting right here. So it probably won't play out exactly, but it's a good roadmap for a couple weeks of consolidation. Majority is going to be upside. If this does come and we get this pullback here, this is a very strong buy signal. This is where we will want to build a large position for further upside. So I mentioned that Ethereum, we're probably looking at essentially the same timeline. But if you look at something like ShipPerp, you can see it's actually got a little bit different chart here. So while Bitcoin ran to new highs here, so did Ethereum. Here is what I mean, not here. So 2 days ago, when Bitcoin and Ethereum ran to new highs, ShipPerp was barely testing its previous high. It had been consolidating from its previous high now for 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks. So that would mean it's very possible that we have an A, B, C, and it starts a new move up soon. I've already bought some of this one. We're also right above the all-time high on ShipPerp. So if we pull back to this level, that'd be a pretty decent level to add on to as long as it holds to add on to your position. But you can see daily momentum is still positive, 4 hour, positive, 1 hour, everything should be positive. So for me, this is a pretty good one to be looking at for a move in the near future, where Ethereum, Bitcoin, we could be talking about a couple weeks before we have a major move on those. Now, Ethereum does have ETH 2.0 coming out. Perhaps, quote unquote, fundamentals play a larger role in that moving up, continuing the move up. But it would be healthier if we do consolidate for a couple weeks, just like this. This is all I'm asking for on the Bitcoin and Ethereum charts. Since this has already done it, I think it's very possible that it continues up. Remember that ShipPerp is made up of several small cap coins. So this can be used as a gauge for strength of the lower caps. You can play ShipPerp, I am, but you can also buy some of the smaller caps looking for a more exaggerated move. Because this is an index, you won't see 1,000% increase in it, but you could see a significant move nonetheless, and it's pretty easy to use leverage to get into those moves. Since this is a continuation pattern, we would expect it to continue to the same degree that it moved into it. So you could be talking about a 30% move out of it with any significant leverage. So you're at 3x leverage on your account, you're talking about a 90% account gain. But do so responsibly. Obviously, from here, you don't want to be 3x your portfolio because we could definitely pull back. What I'll be doing, since I got in early, I will add if we pull back, and I will add as we claim levels. So you can see I've already drawn out what I was hoping to see on Ethereum. If we go to the daily chart, you see just how extreme that move up was. The thing was exceptionally strong. And it's very possible that we consolidate here for a couple weeks before we do move up. Now, time-wise, this is hard to draw. So here it should, excuse me, sorry guys. Here it's drawn out to the 27th of August. It likely would not take that long. But if we can break through this box of resistance, you can see there's really not much above us. We could easily run to the 800 type level before a pullback. Looking at this on a log scale, this was just a quickly drawn one. But we could be talking about an absolutely major move. Back here we had some kind of three-wave correction, well, maybe like a WXYXZ, whatever it may be. This was one move down, and then we've got this move here behind it. You've probably seen this comparison before, but if we go to the BLX chart, you can see how we have this move down. And then we've got a similar basing pattern right behind it. From there, we just had this major move up. Now that move took several years. Well, 2 years. So we could see 2 years of expansion from ETH. Where would we be now? Our next push would probably be equivalent to this. And my target was around 800, which you see this hit 775. and this through line right here. And you can see that we tested that, came down, flipped it, caught it as support. And there is a running flat right here. This was a massive buy signal for major upside. If Ethereum were to run to 10,000, 12,000, 20,000, we're talking about many new multi-millionaires from holding Ethereum. So I drew this out on Ethereum already. However, I couldn't find the chart. I'm not sure what I drew it on. Let's grab the bars pattern real quick. We're just going to copy that. We're going to move to, you know what, it was probably ftx. Yep, here we go. So if we just paste that on here, this is what I'm talking about. It's hard to move this because it's on log. Nope. So let's just leave it where it was. But timeline, you can see we're a little bit ahead of schedule because this part here is this. And turn it back into bars, high-low bars. And you can see that a little clearer. But actually, we're very close. We're only a few weeks ahead of schedule. So we could see something like this up here, where we have another push up, and then this consolidation. It could take longer than projected, longer than what I've drawn here. Now this drawing, this fib channel, I made it just as a comparison, but it's not exact. It's far from exact because the price on Bitcoin was not as low as this point here. But I'm quite interested to see if something like this plays out. And we'd be talking about 2022 highs. If Ethereum can manage to do that, you are exceptionally early to a really large bull run. It's going to require some patience. It's not going to be the parabolic moves we saw in 2017. Rather than doing this, it's going to be doing this. This is healthier, more sustainable. You can make some money in this and then catch the end of it when it goes parabolic. Then you're looking at compounding gains you've already had over this 2-year span. All right, that's most of what I have on Link, Bitcoin, ShipHerp, not Link, ETH, Bitcoin, and ShipHerp. Let's look at Link real quick. Let's not use Perp. Let's go to a USD chart calculated by TradingView. This thing, for me, has some major upside ahead. So we moved up here, the initial listing, and consolidated below it. But we flipped that level of support right here. Now we've broken through this resistance. I don't expect that we're anywhere near a top. And you can see on the weekly chart, this looks really good. We had these 3 candles bunched up, and now we're at the top of those our current candle body is fully above any close that Link has ever had on a weekly chart. I do think it's very possible that Link runs to prices like $50 and higher. If you're looking for a buy-in, this thing has already moved so much it makes it a little tough. Let's just go to current price. We're talking about a 480% run this year. The best time to get in was after this consolidation, or knife catching down here, buying this consolidation and holding through it. But there's a very good chance that we do continue up here. So getting some exposure to Link without high leverage is not a bad idea. It's very possible here that we've completed a structure here, but it's a little funky looking. Something like this, like an A, B, C. So I wouldn't rule out one more pullback here. For me, if that did occur, this would be a massive buy-in, a very good place to be going long. If you get presented the opportunity up here, where it retests, that would be a good buy-in as well. We don't often get these perfect retests, so if it comes, I would definitely suggest getting in. Let's look at BNB real quick. Got to flip back to log. In the same way that I did the Bitcoin chart, I'm just looking at a comparison here on the log chart. Let's go to a weekly. I think it's quite clear that BNB could easily retest its highs and probably go even higher as well. You can see a very healthy uptrend here once we flipped blue, and we have flipped blue here. Now, if it flips blue here, we can have fake outs, but with the momentum and the direction, direction of price, and the trend all being up, it's a pretty good sign that we're going to at least break this high and very likely continue up in a 3x type manner. I'm looking for $60. For me, the coins with fundamentals right now, it's not Bitcoin. Bitcoin can't be used. You can't go out into the store and send a Bitcoin transaction and wait for 30 minutes for it to be approved. Now, yes, you can get a Visa card. You can get a few of those. But that does not improve the fundamentals of Bitcoin to me. The only coins with true fundamentals for me are coins like Binance, FTT, the exchange coins where you're getting discounts for holding. They're burning coins pretty often. I'm not sure if BNB does that quarterly or monthly. But that's fundamentals. This is the best fundamentals to me in the crypto space. Now, all that said, I am in a small scalp short on BNB. We broke the high here, and then we started this miniature downtrend. Often these downtrends will accelerate to the downside. So I'm looking for something like that. And here, I'd be looking to add large for upside. As we move down and then come back up and start to find some ground here, I'll be looking for a large position to the upside. FTT, one of my favorite tokens. Same thing here. I think it's going to pull back on low time frames. We can see here that we have a pretty large structure here that's very likely complete. So upside is really to be expected on this one. It doesn't have nearly as much chart history as what BNB does, but you can see we are in a sustainable uptrend for the time being. What appears to be sustainable, at least. This black line here is just an interesting high that we had. Actually, I'm going to go even down a little further. If you look at the 15-minute, right here, somebody was sitting right on top of the price, keeping it from breaking through, but they were also following it up with buy orders. Finally, they let this top break and we moved up, but then we dropped back below. Dropping back below was not bullish. We didn't want to see a drop back into this range. However, we are now working on reclaiming the top of that range. For me, I really like this level. If it holds as support, that's a great place to be buying some more FTT. So we could come down like this. That's right around 350. Now, if the higher low is broken, all bets are off. But we had a pretty long consolidation here, so it's pretty safe to assume that our expansion out of the consolidation will be strong and last longer than just this small move here. All right, guys, that's all I got today. I will mention FTT, my first target's really, 10 to 20 bucks. So we're talking about a 5x potential there. So this is definitely a focus for me. And first coin spot, probably Shitpert. It's almost like we started the cycle over on that last pullback. We're starting the cycle over where now the lower small cap coins are ready to go. Then you'll flow into medium and then into the larger caps. So that's kind of what I'm watching. If we literally have a duplicate of the opportunity from the last month, it should be a great month. Everybody should have seen kind of how the flow went and give you some opportunities to do that. If you enjoyed the video, hope you share it, like it, follow me, throw some comments with your questions or feedback. All right, guys, talk to you soon.